Hey world, it's your host Marshall. Thanks for tuning into my podcast, Run On Thoughts. Here we talk about everything and nothing because we are not afraid to be all of ourselves even as we evolve. And that's my thought for my fellow thought thinkers as we unpack our traumas, past hurts, and other BS. Y'all ready? Let's go. Hey thought thinkers, I'm back for another episode of Run On Thoughts. I am happy to be here and stand in a place of gratitude for any of you who are listening for the very first time. I hope you get what you need. That is my ultimate gift. And for those of you who have been on this journey with me since the very beginning, thank you. Thank you. And I hope that you are out there doing the work. Because listening without doing the work is like faith without works. We must realize that we have to do the work, and all of the work is inside. With that, I welcome any of you to go to runONthoughts.com and listen from there. You can listen, you can subscribe, and you can choose to become a thought thinker. That's a thoughtful person who critically thinks about exactly what's going on in their life and in the world. If you guys hear a lisp, it's because I had extractions and I have to have implants in. I have never been happier to be snag-a-tooth in my life because the pain from that tooth was so intense that when they took it out, I was like, whew. And part of me felt like having the tooth hurt was better than taking the tooth out. But now that the teeth are out, woo, I feel good. And that's crazy because that's what today's topic is titled. Better doesn't mean good. And no, I'm not talking about teeth. We've all heard ourselves say it or heard somebody else say it. At least it's better than before. But is it? But is better actually good? Not all the time. But as I'm out in the world and I'm talking to friends and family, I see this concept come up all the time. Whether it's work, whether it's relationships, home, whatever it is, people keep holding on to the past. I want this episode to challenge the idea that improvement alone is the goal and ask deeper questions. Does this actually support who you are becoming? I want to talk about the quiet trap of settling for better than simply because it's not as painful, chaotic, or harmful as what we've already survived. Whether it's relationships, like I said, your job, habits, mindsets, improvement doesn't always equal alignment. Sometimes better is just a softer version of what still isn't right for us. I know you guys are feeling it already. You know you can look over to your relationship or look over to what you're doing or feeling, but I just want you to slow down. I want you guys to check in with yourself and examine the difference between relief and fulfillment. Why familiarity can blur our judgment, and how to give yourself permission to want more than less bad. You're allowed to want good. Did you hear that, guys? You are allowed to want good. I want you to reflect on a time when you accepted something because it was better than what you had before. But deep down, you knew it still wasn't good for you. What kept you there? Was it fear? Were you just tired? Was it loyalty? Or the belief that this was as good as it gets? I've been there, guys. I have really been there. I have been in many things in my life that have made me feel that better that changing my situation was better, or that this thing was better. Like, have any of you ever been in an abusive relationship with someone who hits you or calls you names or talks about you? I've been in emotionally abusive relationships where, and I don't know if I could call them emotionally abusive relationship, because part of the reason why I stayed is because I have a protective coating over my skin, right? Over my body, over my soul. So if you say something crazy to me, it is not internal. I am not internalizing that fact. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean that you should be in a relationship where someone is calling you names or saying crazy things or gaslighting you or fear mongering or any of the many things people do to get you to lose your light. And so when I finally ended that type of relationship, and I went to another relationship where that person doesn't yell or scream or call you names at all, my mind convinced me that it was better than. But later on, I found out that it wasn't good. Right? Because just because somebody doesn't do that thing doesn't mean that they don't do other things that don't serve your soul. Just because they didn't yell also doesn't mean that they're not emotionally abusive, because shutting down or withdrawing or punishing you by not initiating or not being in the relationship is also abusive. It is also hurtful. Or a person who's been beat in a relationship and then you go be with someone who just yells. Or remember the old folks used to say, at least he doesn't beat you. Or at least he has a job. At least is not good. At least is simply better than. And I am so grateful that we are in a time where we do not have to deal with at least. Right? We have been in situations, I'm sure you guys have been in situations at work, but also a lot of us are in better thans because we think it's good out of loyalty. We don't want to hurt anybody, so we are constantly trying to convince ourselves. Ain't that some shit? Most of the shit that we are in is because we are lying to ourselves. We are wearing rose-colored glasses so that we don't have to see the truth, so that we don't have to make decisions. But the truth is, you have to make a decision, because your body will tell on you. You heard me. Your body, you'll start to get headaches. Your gut will hurt. All of these nervous system conditions that we get are because we are living a lie. We are telling ourselves lies. Better than does not mean good. It can be as simple as food. You make something. I believe in cooking with love. Even if I'm cooking and I'm on the phone and we're having a negative conversation, I will get off the phone. And the reason I will get off the phone is because I need to cook with love. I believe that I can taste it or feel it, and I don't want negative energy going into my body. But there have been times when I have made something, like when you're learning how to cook something and it's good, and somebody will say it's good, right? But it's not better than Big Mama's. And you know it. You know it. So why are we acting like in our relationships, in our jobs, out in the world? Why are we acting like better than is necessarily good and it's not? The goal here, guys, is good. I want you to have good. How many times do we go back to a relationship, right, where it was bad? Because you can leave and think something is better than, right, but it's still not good. But you can also stay somewhere, right? Or you keep giving someone a condition and you leave and they say they're going to change, and maybe they do change. But what about those people who it's way too many things to change? Way too many obstacles to jump over. If someone is disrespectful and doesn't clean up after themselves, or doesn't take care of the children, or doesn't go to work, or doesn't do this and doesn't do that, and they say, hey babe, I'm not going to curse you out anymore. Well, that makes them better than, right? Better than last week. But it still ain't freaking good. And we deserve good. You deserve good. I deserve good. That's why I believe in putting your best foot forward. I have done things or say, all right, it's better than nothing. The only thing better than nothing is desperation or when you are in survival mode. Right? Having a roof over your head is better than not having a roof over your head, but it still doesn't make it good. It makes it better than. And sometimes as you are moving forward in life, yes, better than is good enough for now, but that doesn't mean that we are not in the pursuit of good. Does that make sense? We are in the pursuit of good. There are ways to know the difference. Better brings relief. That's survival mode. Good brings peace. Better often feels like exhaling after holding your breath for too long. It's a release, but good feels steady. It doesn't keep your nervous system on alert or require constant justification. Ask yourself, am I calm here? Or just not in crisis anymore? And I want to give you guys an affirmation. I honor relief, but I choose peace. I am allowed to want calm that lasts, not just crisis that ends. I'm going to say that shit again for you guys. I honor relief. Say it with me. I honor relief, but I choose peace. I am allowed to want calm that lasts, not just crisis that ends. You are in these situations not realizing that you are still in survival mode and you are not yet out of danger. You should still be in the pursuit of peace. Yes, you are doing a little better, but it still ain't good. And the way that you know that it is still not good is because you are not calm. You are still making excuses for. You are still justifying. You are still wearing the rose-colored glasses, and I want you to take off the rose-colored glasses. Better requires constant comparison. Good stands on its own. If you have to keep reminding yourself how much worse it used to be, you may still be negotiating with discomfort. What's truly good doesn't need a past pain to validate it. It feels right without the footnotes. It feels right without the footnotes. You don't have to compare it to your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend or your ex-wife or that last job or that time when you were treating yourself horribly. Like if you were harming yourself and you're not harming yourself as much. You see the justification in the as much? As much doesn't mean good. It just means a little better. It means a little better than. But I want you guys to feel right without needing all of the footnotes. I don't want you to negotiate with your soul. Say this with me. I no longer measure my life against past pain. What is good for me is valid without explanation. Say it again. I no longer measure my life against past pain. What is good for me is valid without explanation. And I got another one. Better tolerates you. Good nurtures you. Better may allow you to exist, but good supports your growth. Notice whether you're shrinking, adapting, or silencing parts of yourself to maintain the improvement. Good environments, people, and choices make room for your wholeness. Say it with me. I deserve environments, relationships, and choices that support my growth, not just my survival. I deserve environments, relationships, and choices that support my growth, not just my survival. Better may allow you to exist, but good supports your growth. Stop dimming your light. Stop walking into a room and putting your head down. Stop adapting to who you think they need you to be or what you think you need to be in order to survive in this shit that you think is better, but better doesn't necessarily mean good. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? You are not ungrateful for wanting more than better. You are not difficult for questioning improvement that still feels heavy. And you are not wrong for pausing before calling something good just because it is no longer painful. And the truth is, painful now. When you enter into a better than instead of good, it feels normal at first. It feels good at first. And then that old feeling starts creeping back up on you because you are discovering these new forces. You are discovering, you are witnessing, your body is telling on you, and you are trying to be grateful. You are trying to say to yourself, you are making those excuses. And I don't want you to make those excuses. I want you to pause and take your time. I don't want you to just acknowledge and accept that just because something is better than that it's good. And it's not no longer painful. It just isn't painful yet, or it's not as painful. But it's still pain. There's still pain. Sometimes we confuse survival with success. We celebrate the absence of harm without asking whether joy. You guys know how I feel about joy. Joy, peace, or alignment ever showed up to replace it. But better is not the destination. It's just a checkpoint. And while it's okay to rest there for a moment, it's also okay to keep going. Give yourself the grace to say that, yes, I am doing better than, but it is not good. And I am still on the pursuit to good. I am still on the pursuit to calm because I am worthy. I deserve calm. We deserve calm. We deserve peace. We deserve joy. I deserve not to shrink. Good doesn't require that you shrink. Brace yourself or keep explaining why you stayed. Good feels steady. It allows you to breathe fully. Breathe. Breathe in this moment if this is resonating with you. It meets you where you are and still supports where you are headed. It meets you where you are and still supports where you are going. Good is a part of the journey. Good, the pursuit of good is joy. So if you're in your season of discernment, be gentle with yourself. Trust that your awareness is growth. And remember, you don't owe performance. or permanence. You don't have to stay in anything that was only meant to teach you what you no longer want. Graduate. Give yourself permission to level up. Do you hear me? Give yourself permission to understand that life is the journey. Light is the pursuit. Your whole life. It doesn't end. The journey is life. Your whole life. You are doing well. You are doing better than, but you have still not arrived at good. I want you to arrive at good. If this concept is resonating with you, I want you to take a moment to pause. I know that this one is a lot because there are so many things in our life that are better than, that are not good. And I don't want you to judge where you are, but I want you to listen to yourself more closely. I want you to ask yourself, is it simply better than what I had? Or is it truly good for who I am becoming? Right? That's what I want you guys to do this week. I want you to sit with that question. I want you to journal about it. I want you to pray if that's what you do. I want you to meditate. I want you to just think. I want you to look in the mirror. I want you to talk it through with someone you trust. And if that someone you trust is yourself, I want you to have a conversation with yourself, because awareness is the first step toward enlightenment. And I know that you're here each week for Run On Thoughts because I'm trying to create a safe space that helps you reflect, that helps you grow, and feels less alone in the process. I want you guys to share this episode with someone who might be navigating the same distinctions, who are understanding and who it resonates that better than is not good. You don't owe any relationship or space that you're in an apology because you're out here accepting bullshit. I want you guys to become a thought thinker. I want us to be better than. We're not just here to survive or settle for less bad. We're here to choose clarity, peace, joy, and what's genuinely good for us. I'm tired of talking to you. Bye.